You are listening to the award-winning WHCM Harper Radio. What? Broadcasting from the Harper College campus in Palatine, Illinois. Quick reminder before we get started: the thoughts and ideas presented.
The thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of Harper College, WHCM, or its Board of Trustees. Quick fill-in there for you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
It is time for Streaming Verse with Nina and Chris. Head over to YouTube Live. You want to look for the Harper Radio channel, look for the live video, and you can see us talk about all the things we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
What we've watched, and time travel.
Woo.
I'm still kind of shocked you picked this topic.
So I have a list of topics that we could talk about, and that was the next one.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Zippering up my headsets because they're not going to work.
Okay.
All right. There.
And you said you want to do ASMR. Yeah.
Zip.
Oh my gosh. All right. Once again, you're listening to Streaming Verse with Chris and Nina. I just feel weird because I didn't say it.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on I'm just going to say social media now because that's what it is.
We're on the socials.
Yeah, at streaming_verse. Check us out. Yeah. So, Chris, what have you been watching this week?
Not a lot, as we've been talking about. And I think I mentioned last week my son got married this past weekend. Congratulations, Nick and Hannah. So because of, just being busy, I didn't have a chance to watch a lot, but I did watch Bad Sisters, which is on Apple Plus. It's really good. It's these Irish sisters who, and I'm not giving away spoilers because I have no idea what happened. I'm 4 episodes in and you don't know anything yet.
Interesting.
But it's really good. It's these Irish sisters who supposedly look like they killed their brother-in-law, but we don't know yet. But he is such a jerk that you're like, yes, kill him.
Yeah. Solid.
I'm just waiting for this to be an accident at the end of it, but it's really good, and I'm enjoying it. And if you haven't started it yet, jump on board now because the last episode is this Friday, so you can start tomorrow, so you can start binging and finish it in one shot if you need to.
Nice, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
All right, so I also have not been watching a lot. The things that I have written down are from forever ago, which I will get to eventually. But I kind of wanted to talk about a new app that I found that I've been addicted to. It's called Q, like Queuue. And it's for both TV shows and movies. And the only difference between this and the other apps that we have is that it gives you points for recommending shows to people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Chris is on board.
Yeah. And you can import by copying and pasting if you have a list of titles in your notes. But if you don't, like I do, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Because I got my brother into it, and, he's watched so much stuff that it's just a lot of work to put it in. But then you can go to I can go to my brother's feed and see what he has liked or loved or whatever on this. And it also, if I see that he wants to watch something, it's nice just to be like, oh, hey, you want to watch this? But it also has this cool little spinner, which if you can't decide what to watch, you put in a genre, you put in the length, you put in what streaming service you have, and you can spin, and it will tell you. And you can do that.
That's so cool.
It's amazing, because I'm the most indecisive person. So you can do that based off of stuff you've watched, or stuff you want to watch, or just random titles. And it has saved my life.
Does it save the streaming services you have?
Yep. You input what you have, and then it takes it from there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't need any more apps in my life, but I
No,
think I
know.
need that one.
Yeah, I again was doing the same thing, but then one night I was bored, and then I was like, let's see what else I can get on here, and I found it, and I've been holding on to this one for quite a while because I've been waiting for, like, you know, when I didn't have anything to talk about, but I really like it and I recommend it.
Yeah, I actually have a question about Letterboxd.
Yeah.
If you want to answer it right now.
Sure.
So I was going in there to check my movies and load movies.
Yeah.
And I thought you had 2 lists for us. Did you, or we just have 1 list? I can't find the list.
Okay, so there's like the movies that you've watched. So basically, the list that I've been making of the titles that you've been telling me, I put in there, and then I also put what I've watched in there.
But are we together, or we
So-
each have our own list?
So we're together on that, but then
Okay.
the list, I say this word all the time and I can't say it. Those are separate. And I made you one, but it's empty.
Okay, I can't find it.
I'll show you- I'll
I
show
need
you.
help.
I got you. I'll show you.
I also have another cool app I was going to tell you about.
Ooh.
Has nothing to do with our show, but it'd be fun to talk about on our show.
All right.
But I also want you to talk about your shows, but
Oh.
you've started the app conversation.
I know, I did
so,
start the app conversation.
So there's an app called Be My Eyes. Have you heard of
Sorry, I got way too excited, yeah.
it? Is so cool.
It's
I got
really
my
cool.
first call tonight, but they didn't need my help because someone else, I guess it calls multiple people at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Because it was ringing, I had my phone there, and I went to go pick it up, and they're like, someone else got it. So maybe I don't know, maybe I didn't get it when it exactly started, but it definitely was still ringing. So if you don't know what Be My Eyes are, it's an app where you can help someone out. If you have vision, and you are so inclined and want to help out someone who is vision impaired, either blind or highly limited, you get these phone calls where it's a 2-way phone call but 1-way video. And you can help them with some things as basic as which is my red scarf, which is my black scarf, you know, or something as serious as do I have to eat food with this medication?
Yeah.
What does it say on the label? And the coolest part, and yeah, I did see this like on BuzzFeed or something,
Yeah.
that there's like 400 plus blind people on it, but 6 million people there to help.
Yeah.
That is like so awesome. So I was kind of
sweet.
excited on like day 3, I got a phone call.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
All right, so that was the app diving into part of the show.
Yeah. Unexpected, but great.
I was so excited I got a call before the show. I'm like, I have to talk about it now.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, I've heard great things about that app.
So did you watch anything this past week?
I did, and it's kind of comical. So it's on YouTube, which is streaming. And it is a series, but it's also BuzzFeed, so like, you know, but it's BuzzFeed Unsolved. So I know I think I've talked to you about this, but I don't think I've said it on air. It's these 2 guys, and I think it's over with. Like, I don't think they do it I think they left BuzzFeed, thank God.
Yeah.
But these 2 guys, and they just talk about like unsolved mysteries or like paranormal stuff, and it's so interesting to me, and it's funny, which you don't think it's funny, but one guy believes in ghosts and paranormal activity, and the other one is like, no. And so they're just telling the story, and the one guy's just like, no, and the other one's like, don't, like, we're gonna die. And I just find it really funny because they're just going back and forth. So I watched one about, I don't know what house it was, but some haunted house, and they're walking through it, and not like a haunted like Halloween house, but like it's supposedly haunted by spirits, or I clearly was not paying attention, but they walked through it with, you know, like the night goggles and like the camera equipment, and they're like trying the sounding thing to hear the ghost, and the one guy's freaking out because he's like, I hear it, and he's like, you hear nothing, like that was me, like what? I just find it very entertaining.
Yeah. Well, do you believe in that, or that there's ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts.
Hey, I swear that I had an apartment once where there was a ghost. I swear.
Ooh.
Yeah. My roommate and I were both convinced there was a ghost in our apartment at that time.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question now. I was derailed. There's, you know, the movie Shawshank Redemption? I'm sure you've heard of it.
My brother talks about it all the time.
The prison they recorded in
Mm-hmm.
is haunted. People, ghost hunter type people have been in there to record.
Ooh, that's really cool.
I think that's my only valuable comment on what you just said, because I forgot. I actually had a really good question. I was like, oh, I forgot.
Well, maybe you'll think of it when we take our short break.
Alrighty.
So we will be right back with Streamingverse. Stay tuned to WHCM, or if you're on YouTube, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Stay tuned.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid.
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad
I'm
Council.
Crazy T. I'm B Smooth.
I'm Eric D.
And you are listening to the award-winning WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees.
Celebrating 20 years on air at Harper College.
Welcome back to Streamingverse with Chris and Nina. Quick reminder before we get started. The thought I was going too fast. The thoughts and ideas presented on this show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. Now we are going to dive into time travel, and I actually remembered why this topic was fresh on my mind.
Okay.
We read a book in a humanities course that I'm taking that I really, really enjoyed. It's called The Light Keeper, and it was like the first book that I like ever have been assigned that I like really enjoyed. So like that's big. Like
Yeah.
I cried about this book.
Aww.
So good. And it's about a time traveling light keeper. I don't know. It's just really good.
Hey, what else are you going to do if you're a... Well, I don't know what the light keeper is. I'm thinking on like a watchtower thing.
Yep.
So yeah, what
Yep.
else? I mean, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Might as well be...
Yeah. I mean, it has the undertone of like it's a religious story, but it's so funny because like if you look at it one way, like you don't even see it at all, but then if you like actually think about it, you're like, oh wait, that makes sense. Which you know, you kind of have to do when you're reading it for a class.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Get this now.
Yeah.
We actually have somebody on YouTube Live right now who's saying hello.
Hello.
It's my friend Risa. So she says hello, Chris and Nina.
Hi.
So if you want to say hi to us and have us like answer questions or fill it, you know, you want to join the chat, go to YouTube Live. Look for the Harper Radio channel.
Yep, we are live there. All right, time travel. You are like the expert.
I don't know about expert, but
Well,
I definitely
science fiction, sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah. And I definitely wrote down like for once I have a list like
Oh.
Nina's.
My gosh. That I'm proud of you.
And
That
I don't
is-
think this is complete.
it's
But I
not.
love all of these.
I see. My eyes are crossing. I see one that is on my list.
Okay. One thing I found out though, so this was really I enjoyed this exercise. So one
Okay.
of the things I found out about time travel movies when I was writing this down is they all really are depressing.
Yeah.
Even if they're funny, like the movie About Time is about a family where they get the ability to really they go back and correct mistakes. Like that's what the
Oh.
lead character does is he goes back and corrects his screw-ups because he really likes this girl. So when he blows it, he goes back and redoes it a lot.
That's like against all rules of time traveling,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes. Exactly, which is why it's depressing. So even though it's like funny, it's sad
Yeah.
because he keeps screwing up, and it's like,
Oh, man.
and everything basically says time travel is bad unless you stay
Right.
put, like in Outlander.
Okay.
Because in Outlander, she time travels, but she doesn't go back and forth. She
She just
basically
stays.
stays. I mean, she does go back and forth, but it's for good reasons. But it's
Okay.
not like a lot of time travel movies where they keep jumping back and forth, which
Right.
creates the paradoxes.
Yep.
And
And then the timeline.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I have so many to talk about and recommend. I thought about you because last night in Soho.
Yes! I love that movie. And Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it's actually time travel or just an experience, but it could be.
It could be. And
Yeah.
I actually had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Actually one question for you. I really thought I had more. About time travel. So, because I was writing these down, and as I was doing it, I was like, would that be considered time travel? Do you consider, like, a multiverse idea time travel?
I was thinking about that because the OA,
Okay.
which is on Netflix,
Yeah,
because
I
I was
heard-
going to write
yeah.
that down. It's really good. I really like the OA. We didn't get our last season, though, so those of us who love it are depressed. But the OA is like that. And I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
And I thought no, which is why I didn't write it down. So I guess that was my
Okay.
answer, is multiverse is not time travel because time is linear. It's just in different universes.
I've had this conversation twice now this week about time is linear. My brain is going to explode. Oh my gosh.
But it's only with Doctor Who when it's timey-wimey
Yeah.
that it's time travel.
right.
You need
Got it.
timey-wimey.
And I know that reference. I get it. Okay, so that knocked 2 of mine off the list, but that's okay.
Yeah, even Deadpool, I question
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 is
Mhm.
that time travel, which I kind of think it is because he's literally, but no, that's really, that's multiverse.
That is multiverse.
Yeah, so no, doesn't count. I did put a question mark. There is a question mark
Yeah.
just Deadpool. No.
Yeah, this knocks a lot of stuff out.
One of my favorite, which I really find interesting, you don't want to watch it though,
Why?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, no, I don't want to watch
So Source Code
it. Okay.
is really good, and it's where an event has happened and he has to go back and find out where the bomb is that makes it explode.
Oh my god.
And they think he can only go back once, but he keeps going back. And I'm not going to give away any more, even though if you haven't seen it yet, spoilers are on you, not me. But it's so good. And in fact, it's interesting, before you even mentioned time travel, I'd seen like a commercial or some remnants of that, and I thought, I really want to see that movie again because I really like Source Code.
Nice.
One more thing before I let you talk.
No.
Because
yeah,
I was talking
go.
to you about this a little bit, and I really do have a question for Deegan if he watches this, but I'll text
There's
him
no
after
way.
the show. So when I was looking up time travel movies to remind myself of all the ones I watched,
Mhm.
I found that people keep referencing this time travel movie called Primer. Now I had to rent it from Amazon Prime. Like you can't. And I don't think any streaming services have it. But the movie's called Primer. It was an independent release. It was a Sundance Award winner
Wow.
in 2004, and it's about time travel. And the person who wrote it, directed it, and starred in it is an engineer. So a lot of the things happening
God.
are very technical and everything. And people say it's one of the best time travel movies. In fact, the person who did Looper, which is another time travel movie, actually referred to the creator of Primer when he was writing some things for Looper, because he's like, yeah, no, you don't understand time travel.
Oh my God.
And when I was reading reviews about this, it says you really need to watch this multiple times. And at the very end, something happened, and I went, oh, that's why she said this thing before. So he does kind of like M. Night Shyamalan does with some of his stuff, where it's very intricate and going back and forth. He did that too. And so I'm like, now I see why people watch it multiple times. So I might end up having to buy it. Again, still counts as streaming because it's a streaming thing. But it was good. I mean, it's an independent film. He made it for $7,000, but he's since directed other movies and starred in, guest starred in other episodes and things like that. So any young filmmakers out there who are looking to see, like, inspiration, check out the movie Primer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what about you and time travel?
So you're going to be really shocked. I put down Avengers Endgame.
Yep, that counts.
It does count.
It does count.
Because they go back in time to gather not the time stones. What am I saying? The Infinity Stones. And it's super... Natasha died in, I think it was like 2014, because she went back in time. So it's weird because that takes place in like 20.
But she died in the past.
Yeah, so it's super weird, and I don't want to get into how that works because I will cry. And I have yet to cry on air, and I don't want this to be the first time.
Yeah, not the time travel show.
No, no, absolutely not. So yeah. And then going with that, Ant-Man and the Wasp, that movie, they accidentally, I'm pretty sure, created it because they ended up in the quantum zone in the end credit scene.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of, and then they had to save the mom, and so I don't know if that was time travel. Is traveling into the quantum realm time travel?
Is it linear or not linear?
I don't know.
That's the question. Time is linear, so if you mess up with if it's not linear, it's time travel.
Okay, I need to draw this out.
And just for all the listeners and viewers out there, Nina's drawing a straight line. That's how time goes, in a straight line. So if it goes back, then it's time travel.
But then they go back.
As long as they go back, that's time travel.
Okay. Beautiful drawing.
Even with multiverse, if you're multiversing and time traveling, it counts.
Oh my God. Okay, so have you seen Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
Not yet.
Okay, it's really good. I really actually think you'd like it. And it has Wanda Maximoff, who's the Scarlet Witch. It's like, I love. And they do this thing called dream walking. And so she's like, and she floats up in the air, and she, gets into a multiverse version of herself.
Okay.
And she controls it. Is that time travel?
Is it a different time period? Does she get into herself from the past? Or the future?
No, she's in a different universe.
Then no. If it's
Oh my God. This is hard for me. Okay. The one I clearly, this is like beyond me. Time travel is beyond me. I shouldn't be allowed to watch this because they're like quantum physics, and I'm like 2 + 2. What?
all right. There's a movie called Frequency. And it was a TV show too, where a son/daughter talks to their father, because in the movie it was a son and the TV show was a daughter.
Okay.
Talks to their father in the past. Why is that time travel?
Is there an answer to this question?
I'm asking you,
God.
why would you consider? Why would I consider it?
Oh, because it's not linear.
Yes.
I'm a genius, guys. Figured it out. That makes sense.
It's not real time. It's
Okay.
not via an email
right.
that they found. They're talking to each other live in different periods of time, not linear.
I understand time travel now.
I'm here for you for that.
Thank you, Chris.
Dark is another time travel movie that's awesome. So good. It's on Netflix. It's really dark. It's best if
Really?
you watch it.
Is it dark? Sorry.
I just realized what I
Sorry,
said
I
too.
asked
That's so funny. Yes. Yes, it is. It's dark. It's in German, and it's actually
Ooh.
better to watch it in German because the
Yeah.
lip syncing is horrible.
Makes sense.
But it's really good. Yeah, it's this family, but like we were talking about how they're mostly depressing time
Yeah.
travel stuff. This one's super depressing. And I'm sorry, this is a spoiler, so if you haven't watched Dark and you're going to walk away for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
He ends up realizing he should have never been born because his birth is what causes this paradox thing to happen and everyone getting screwed up.
Mood.
Like depressing.
Yeah. Russian Doll is pretty depressing too.
Right, funny but depressing.
Fun. Yeah.
Source code's very depressing, but I can't tell you why. The ending is yay positive, but
Right.
but there's something about it that's dark.
Mhm.
Hot Tub Time Machine, hysterical but also issues. Oh yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine is like a cult classic.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, and they actually made a 2, but the first one cult classic. Before I Fall, did you ever see that?
Oh my god. I read the books when the series came out, and I've seen clips on YouTube because when it came out I was younger, so like I didn't
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, can we watch this sad movie?" You know? I don't know. So, I know the gist of it.
Yeah, it's a bit depressing.
Yeah.
Very depressing. Paper Girls.
Yes,
Time
that's on
travel.
my list.
There's one called Alice. I have not seen it, but it's on Stars. It just came out, so I want to see that one.
I haven't seen it, but it's on my list.
Yeah, so I want to see that one. 11/22/63. It's on Hulu. It's about trying to stop the assassination of Kennedy.
Oh my god. I thought you were like telling me the time, and I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way. We've not been talking for that long.
No, we have not.
Oh my god, that scared me a little bit. Okay, Back to the Future.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like I've
Back
watched the most
To
basic.
the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Marvel and you're Back to the Future basically every.
Yeah.
You haven't seen any other. You read Before I Fall.
Yeah.
So that counts.
And I've
I'll
read
give you that.
more time
Last
travel.
Night in Soho. We'll give you that
Yeah.
one. Where I'm just looking. Oh, Russian Doll.
Yes.
I give you Russian Doll is not basic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I've also seen Doctor Strange, which again, multiversal element, but Spaceballs and Galaxy Quest.
That's space travel.
Okay, it's been a while and the internet told me it was time travel, so
I'm trying to think if
wait.
it might dimension travel though.
Yeah, does Star Wars count then? Because they put it to light speed.
No. 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 And I don't think I'm not sure about Spaceballs. I don't remember, but I think it's space travel.
Yeah.
But the other one that you mentioned,
Galaxy Quest?
Galaxy Quest is, I'd say that's a dimension, like a multiverse,
Okay.
because they are all No, they're just actors, and
Yeah.
someone says, "Oh, you're really these people," and somehow they get thrown into space.
Yeah, they're just in
No.
space. The internet
I know.
lied to me.
I noticed that too because it's a Deadpool, and again,
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 is not time travel,
Yeah.
dimension travel. We could have a whole conversation about dimension travel. Doctor Who is time travel.
Mhm.
Shining Girls is time travel. Oh, you didn't see that one yet. So
No.
you guys need Apple TV Plus.
I do.
You do have it?
Yeah. I watched Dickinson.
Oh,
Remember?
that's
I
right.
couldn't stop saying poems for
Either
a week.
you have to start one of these.
I'm writing all of this down. You know that.
You either
so-
have to start Shining Girls, Bed Sisters you might enjoy.
Okay.
Although there are, from what I can tell so far, there's no LGBTQ plus themes in it, but it is sisters,
Yeah,
which is
if
nice.
There's an attractive girl in there. It's fine.
There's 4 sisters. Pick one. One
Yeah.
of them is Bono's daughter
I
from
don't know
U2.
who that is, but
From U2?
the band?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's women in it, so I figured I might
Yeah.
have a shot there with you. That's Apple TV, yeah. But also I have to Slow Horses or something, but I don't think you'd like that one. Shining Girls, though, because
Okay.
it's really intense.
I
Oh,
love some
Future
drama.
Man, not necessarily recommending it, but Future Man is good. Ooh, thank you, Risa. I forgot about Somewhere in Time. Oh, I love Somewhere in Time. You have no idea what that is,
No,
do you?
no, I'm sorry.
All right, let's all just say, Nina, I'm sorry that you've lived your life to this point and not having watched Somewhere in Time. That your mother, I don't know if she likes it, but has bound to have seen it. Somewhere in Time stars Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve, and they meet while he times travels.
Did you
What?
say Jane Seymour?
Yeah.
Like 6? No.
No,
Never mind.
no, no,
that
no.
was the dumbest comment I think
Yeah,
I've
no.
ever made. Disregard that.
And they are both on Mackinac Island,
Okay.
and they time travel. He times travels to meet her.
Aw.
And yeah, like to the early 1900s. It's very cute.
cute.
And there's
I
even a
circled it.
plaque when you go to the island about
Aw.
this is where in the scene where they first met. There's a little plaque for it. It's so cute.
That's so cute. All right. We will be back with more sci-fi and time travel. Stay tuned to Streamverse here on WHCM.
There ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to the award-winning WHCM 88.3 FM Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees, celebrating 20 years on air at Harper College.
You are listening to the award-winning WHCM 88.3 FM Harper Radio, broadcasting from the Harper College campus in Palatine, Illinois. Again, quick reminder, the thoughts and ideas presented on this show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. You are listening to Streamverse with Chris and Nina. We're back talking about time travel and sci-fi. So with my notes here, because your notes were so much better than mine.
For the very first time, so let's not get too excited. I think for what we'll say 40 shows, you've had better notes. So I don't know. I'm making. We've been
That
doing
blows
it
my
a
mind.
year.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
In fact, I'm not gonna be able to make next week's show because I've got a prior commitment. But we got to figure out costumes, because the
We
one
do.
after that is one where I have to wear costumes.
Yeah.
And I've been really working on this. I really want you and the world to know I've been really thinking about it. But every time I go, oh, I know, I can be Penny Pretty from Buckaroo Banzai. And it's like, no blonde wig, no flapper dress. Okay, next. Oh, okay, I'll be so-and-so. Yeah, not this, not this. Okay, no, next. So I'm trying to think of something that I can be. But I'm
Today-
working on it.
I'm so proud of you. Today, I actually sat down when I was supposed to be doing homework. And I wrote down an entire list of all of the things in my closet that I could be. And then I looked at it and was like, but I don't want to be any of these people. Because of course I want to go buy something.
Right.
But no, I'm gonna work with what I got.
Yeah. So and I don't mind if I have to go buy something. I just don't want to buy a lot.
Right. Like Spirit Halloween, $70. Like no.
Yeah. Yeah, and a wig and a this. So it's really, I got to start with my hair color. That's where I need to start.
You're getting accurate here.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't wear wigs just because.
Well, Penny Pretty has like short blonde hair. Like you can't be Penny Pretty without short blonde hair. That's why.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it just in that one specific incident.
Got it.
Yeah. So. And then I was like, it's like some other ones, the characters have to have short hair, which, I mean, I wouldn't mind as much. Would pull it up and get over it. But yeah, no, just trying to find.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to be close, but I also don't own a flapper dress, so.
I do.
You can be Penny Pretty.
I could. I mean, but I was a dancer, so like I have a whole
That's
bunch
true.
of different costumes that I could throw on and be like, cool.
I'm here.
Yeah, right?
So I read this book first, back to time travel.
Yeah.
The book was called Timeline,
Okay.
which was really interesting. A book, and they also kind of get into the science behind it. Not good science, but versus it just time travel exists. Because that's one of the, I'm going to go back to Primer here for a second.
Yeah.
Primer really gets into the discovery, and it's actually an accident in that movie. How they learn how to time travel. So it's really interesting because when you watch it, it actually gets really into something that's occurring that they didn't even realize that it was time travel. So that was interesting. So Timeline is similar where scientists were trying to figure out a way to time travel, and to complete an experiment, they want some experts in like this medieval time to go back and do something. And of course, it's how hard time travel is, and that it isn't easy as they think it's going to be. But I read the book, and there's a movie out. It didn't do great, but Paul Walker's in it, and Gerard Butler, and some other famous people that I can't think about off the top of my head. And I enjoyed it. It is good, and it shows up on the movie streaming services randomly. So if it should be somewhere. You know what I mean? It bobs in and out of like movie streaming services.
There was recently, I think, you know how in Mean Girls they do the thing where she's like, and then he asked me what day it was, and that became the best day of my life, October 3rd. They took it off Netflix on October 3rd.
No.
Yeah. And like, I will be honest, like I've seen Mean Girls now, obviously, but I didn't watch it until I had listened to the musical version of it. So, yeah, like, I grew up with all the popular kids around me talking about how much they loved it, and so I was like, I'm not going to be like them. So I just didn't watch it. And now I love the musical, so I like the movie.
So now you have to,
Yes.
Movie's good.
The movie's really good.
It's very good.
It's written by Tina Fey, so.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Obviously. Okay, so again, this has like been a topic of the week, time travel, because of the book, and we're discussing it, but this movie actually came up in our discussion, and I made the biggest fool of myself because because we're in a circle, right? I stood up and I started screaming. I was like, "Oh my god, I love that movie! I love that movie!" And my professor was like, okay. Like I just got really excited. Like I couldn't control myself because she mentioned Lucy. And
oh no.
So I'm like jumping up and down like, "Oh my god." And she's like, and I was like, "Oh my god, like this is not good."
I'm not in my house. I'm not at the radio station where it's understood I do stuff like this.
No. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." And like it was fine, but it was just funny. And she's like, "No, I'm so glad people get excited about like our discussions." And I'm like, "I really like Scarlett Johansson." And then we were talking, but that's technically, I don't know if you consider it sci-fi, but it's science fiction.
Oh, definitely science fiction. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, continue.
No, anything that is beyond what we can do now is science fiction, I think.
Okay. But I was talking about this to my dad the other day.
Yes.
I do think time travel exists. But we don't know it yet. So maybe I'm telling you that I have time traveled.
I'm convinced there's days where I do time travel.
Yeah. Whenever I get deja vu, I'm like,
yes. So I am with you on that
Yeah.
one. There's days where like, why am I feeling like this has happened before, or that whatever's happening right now, I'm going to remember later as being, timey-wimey. So I'm with you on that time travel thing.
yeah.
I don't think we control it the way that they do in movies.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
more like about time where it's a person
Yeah.
versus walk into this machine and you can time travel.
Right.
Yeah. That's me. That's my
Interesting.
belief on time travel.
So interesting. No, I don't know. I've been thinking about it so much this week. My brain is like mush.
Yeah.
But it's like so interesting to me.
Yeah, we could talk about sci-fi forever. There's actually a thing like there is a clear delineation to some people on what's time travel. I mean, what's sci-fi and what's not.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and there's fantasy because that's the difference. Sci-fi
Right.
is technically a lot of it
Science.
is maybe probable. Like time travel isn't probable, so time travel might be fantasy to some people, but like Star Trek was sci-fi, but a lot of the stuff in there is true now. Not necessarily we're on
That
these
makes
big
sense.
ships, but the communicators
Oh, yeah.
became cell phones. And even the diagnostic tools that Bones used when he worked on patients, there's tools that look like that now. Back in the 60s, no one would have thought like something that looks like a fancy salt shaker
Right.
would be something they could use to do a diagnostic thing. And now, again, I can wear my Apple Watch and tell you my heart rate.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can go like, hey,
Yes.
Chris, I'm going to send you a message through my watch. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bond. James Bond?
Bond did that. Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot believe I came
Good.
up with that.
But yeah, so even that's used to be
Yeah.
sci-fi, and now we're all doing it.
That's so weird. But we don't have hovercrafts.
I am okay. So speaking of sci-fi, I'm really gonna. I've thought about this week a lot too. Just
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna embarrass myself, but you'll be happy because I'll be with you in what I'm about to share.
I embarrass myself all the time.
And that's what I'm saying. You just felt like you embarrassed yourself. So now I'm going to throw
Yeah.
myself on the same boat.
Join me. I'm always here.
I am convinced because of the way we communicate now, and a lot of people don't communicate real time. They're communicating through thought patterns and using your fingers to type messages, that we are going to develop the ability to have conversations without a cell phone. Like that I'll just be
Like
able
distant.
to, yeah, I'll just be thinking, wow, Nina, do you want to go to lunch today? And I'll think it wherever
Yeah.
I am, and you'll get the message. And
I
you
can see
won't
that.
need a cell phone for that. I'm convinced that because these waves already exist, like what we're using for the cellular communication, that eventually our bodies will develop a way to use them without the phone.
Like an earring with the chip in it or something?
No, just because, I don't know timeline and when this would happen, but do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because these cells exist where there's communications are going,
Yeah.
and eventually because we're going to be so dependent on it,
Right.
that we'll figure it out, that we'll be able to use it on our own without anything. I think it
could
would
see
be a
that.
chip in us first type thing, but
Yeah.
eventually I think we'll be able to do it on our own.
No, I could see that. Yeah,
Because we rely on it so much.
that's true. We do.
Real,
Right
and
now
same
I'm-
with email. We're sending
Yeah.
communications without. So I think just eventually, like it's evolution. We'll
Yeah.
figure- and that might be crazy, but I'm convinced at this point it's going to happen. If we live that long and don't destroy the planet.
Yeah, I'm also in environmental science, so I can't get my hopes
No.
up too high.
Are you taking environmental geology?
Biology.
I took that one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I liked environmental bio. Sorry, we're taking a quick break to actually discuss the courses offered here at Harper College. So, if you are a student here now or considering, listen to our quick chat on environmental biology and while Chris plugs environmental geology here at the campus. So, environmental biology, yes, it was awesome. Like, I learned so much things I didn't. Both of them are like the best courses in actually understanding our planet.
Yes.
You know, and it counts as the it isn't a lab for biology though, right? It's just
It's
a
a lab.
science. It is a lab?
It's a lab, yeah.
I don't remember. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But I like that class.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I took that first and then geology, which is really, really hard. Environmental
rocks?
yeah. But you also learned how like all the continents formed and
Oh my
moving
God.
around. It's awesome.
That sounds fascinating. I also just love rocks, so like that's in a gate.
Yeah, and you learn how to read maps with elevation and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
as we sidetrack.
I need to hang on. I'm going to
This has been the show of sidetracking conversations. Chris went into Be My Eyes app that she's super excited about.
Well, first I went into the Q app.
But that's at least on topic. I mean, for the show.
Yeah. But I've seen videos about the app streaming.
True. That is true.
You can tie anything back to
That
the
is,
show.
I
That's
think
why.
you're right. Let me see if we can do this. So, I just purchased a series on DVD that you cannot watch anywhere streaming.
Okay.
Northern Exposure. I'm so excited about
Okay.
watching this. But it's not streaming anywhere. But I bought it on Amazon, so I had to stream to buy it. So I can now talk about it on the show when I start watching it.
There you go. Yeah. The amount of things that we stretch. I love
I
it.
bought my ticket for the movie theater on my I had to stream on their website.
There was an ad playing. So that was streaming. Wow. I bought the movie theater ticket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Yep. So good. Now that we have that rule established.
Oh, great.
So we can talk about anything now.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
I still want to talk about Don't Worry, Darling.
I still have to see it.
Deegan.
I was going to force him to see it with me this weekend. But then...
Oh, that's right. That's when I said he was a snob.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah. Can we talk more about that? I think that's how we should end every show.
Okay.
Just roasting Deegan. So I was like, yeah, let's go see it. And I didn't articulate this to him because I never see him and I just didn't feel like texting him. But I was, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we'll see it this weekend. We'll say, we're seeing a different movie that he wants to see, and then I'll be like, not Jinx, Psych.
Yeah.
We're going to see Don't Worry, Darling. Apparently he was home. I saw him for 5 minutes to go. He went to a practice, and then he left, and he's going to hang out with one of his friends downtown, but he's hanging out with them at their house.
In the suburbs?
Yeah.
I'm really happy he has friends, but
Me
sorry, that's
too.
not the digging line. Why does he have new friends
Yeah.
and forgot about us?
Literally.
I do want him back on the show, though.
If he has the time.
He's too good for us now. Because it would be fun to talk about, some of the things that are new and different, that he's learning.
And we could just yell at him.
Yeah. And call him a film snob.
Yeah. I mean, I was in some of his films that he's needed to turn in.
Oh.
Because he doesn't ask me, he just assumes that I have nothing better to do.
Right.
Which is not wrong. And so one day, he comes home and he's like, I need to do a close-up project on you. And I was like,
huh?
I don't like cameras right here with the giant camera that he's borrowing from school. I'm like, jeez. And then apparently because I didn't hear this from him. I heard this from my mom. He had to show it to the entire class. Like, they, like, watched it. So, like, my acne, these
Right,
bags
everybody's
under my
seen.
eyes.
You look fine, but I understand.
No, it was really close.
Yeah, where they could see everything. Oh, that's true, and it's a digital camera, so it's every pore.
Yeah, every black.
You're like, can I get a facial first?
Literally. Jeez. He won't know because he'll never listen. Maybe
No.
he will. If he knows that we were harping on him.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
If someone informs him, they start talking about you again.
Yeah. Email Disney D14. Let him know. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Streamingverse with Chris and Nina. Here on WHCM.
I was wondering where you're going. Here on WHC, you're listening to Streamingverse with Nina and Chris here on WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast service of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. Thank you for listening to Streamingverse. Nina and I will be back Nina will be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. with a fun, new, wonderful topic that you're going to have to hear about. You can tune in here at 88.3 FM or go to harperradio.com or YouTube Live, the Harper Radio channel. But as always, keep it tuned to WHCM for some of the best in college radio, especially local Chicago, indie music. We've got a lot of that here on our station. And
have a good dinner.